Hi, Martin here, back with another video. And we're back with this tuning, this altered Nashville, Dad Gad with the A string drop to G, de good, as we often refer to it. So I'm messing around with this the other day, and it depends what you've got going around in your head musically, so kind of started messing around, and I thought, yeah, I might be able to get some banjo lines out of this tuning. So I've been messing around. So when we think of banjo, we generally, especially in country picking banjo, it's generally in G major. They have a 5-string banjo. It's got like a G drone string, I think. They call them G banjos anyway. So a good basis to start, obviously, is G major. Now, if we take the 5th string down to the 1st there, we've actually got G add 9th or G add 2nd, depending which way you want to look at it. So the A there, which is the 2nd or the 9th, whichever, we need to lose that. So if we fret it, the 2nd string there, I've now got B. So now I've got my 3rd, B being a 3rd of G major. So I've got my 3rd there, and now we've got a nice basis of a chord to build around on. So we want to try and keep as many of the open strings as we can in there. But we also need to find some banjo lines, and also the way that we're going to pick it. So good way, obviously, some Travis picking is a good way to start. So we've got this going on there, but that's a classic Travis thing. Most people who've done that before, if they've done Travis picking, will know instantly what that is. So we need to add that. Now you can actually play it like this, where we've got the rests in, or we can put this bit of a hammer and pull in there, so using that A, that 2nd or 9th there. So now we've got that banjo thing going on there as to a point. We're never going to get it exact because this is not a banjo. So look at this hand. Try not to look at the screen when I'm doing that, because I end up going wrong. It sends me funny. So that's got the that's got as a start, and we could do with some banjo lines really. So one of the classic banjo lines is this this chromatic walk up there from B, C, C sharp, D there. So now we've got to try and incorporate that into the Travis picking. But also, the other thing you hear is this this C sharp to D hammer and pull there going on. But yeah, it's actually so what we need to do is incorporate that into the Travis picking. So we need to get the first one on the G, and the second one onto the D octave string there. So now we get this. So now we come out of it. Sorry. So now you can hear that coming through there. I'm starting to build and build, and some of this I'm kind of almost macking up as I go along. So I'm just barely giving you a bit of an insight as well as to how I put all these things together. So there we've got that going on there. So that's got quite a few lines there going on in G. So we need G. We need a 1-4-5 progression really. So G, C, and D. So there we've got a G going on there, and we can either have a G with a third or a G with a fifth. So G with a B, and that there on that line, because we've already got G there open with those with the fifth, fourth, and third string. So we can put a B in there. We can put a fifth in. So now we can find. Let's see if we can find some more lines. So what about? So what's going on there? So now we can add that into the Travis pick. Sorry. Even I make mistakes. So that's it, and I always end up falling on my little finger. I don't quite have that speed in that. So I swap fingers there. I'm working. It's like you don't often do hammer and pulls with third and fourth finger, so I'll get that quicker. Couple of days that'll be up to patch. So that's it. You know, when you're playing these things and you tend to fall on fingers where you don't do that, because it's like it's easy to do hammer and pulls from your first and your fourth, but when you're doing them try doing them from your third and fourth and just see how difficult that is. But you can build it up and eventually I'll be and I can feel that in my fingers because I don't often do that. So sometimes when you're doing, you know, strange things like this, you think, you know, your finger exercises that you're using are a bit unorthodox. Take a bit of getting used to. So we've got quite a bit going on there in G. So looking at the C chord, had a bit of a quick go looking at the C, and I have got this C7 thing going on there, and so we've got, you can use the little finger. So we've got a hammer on there and a pull off on that little finger on the first string. Not an ideal chord because we've got no open strings in there, but it'll do for the time being. So that'll do for the time being. There we go. And in fact, you can almost hear that Deliverance thing. Everybody thinks of Deliverance straight away. They think of that Banjo. That film is just a classic. Where you've got the actual thing going on there. I actually use one of my bass lines for that because you can find, but don't quite work with that there. So you keep forgetting. again, that's very unorthodox, skipping over 2 strings to find that melody and then taking that one melody now out of your bass line. It's a bit weird. So all these things, and I'm doing this raw and off at cuff, so you know, it's easy to you know, do a video when you've got everything perfect, and people only ever see the finished product. They don't actually see how you've actually, you know, how you've actually built that up. You know, no matter who you see playing guitar, you only ever see the finished product normally. Nobody lets you see their practice regimes, or, you know, how they're working things out, and how they might struggle with that because they're doing some unorthodox. People fall into, you know, into habitual finger patterns that they always use, and as soon as you come out of those, you know, suddenly it's very difficult to play. As soon as you start, you know, you're working from your 3rd and your 4th finger, suddenly you're struggling a bit. So when you're working things out like that for the first time, you know, seeing someone actually doing that's constructing something rather than just seeing a finished product, which is what you're watching me do here really. So I'm looking for the D major chord, so we could try that one there. So we've got D there going on, and we've got a 5th there, so we've got another. So there we've got another open D there. Kind of when I'm messing about with this, I kind of things are, you know, I'm kind of hearing things as you kind of play a chord, it kind of triggers some of the things that you've subconsciously recorded in your mind over the years listening to banjo, and it's that semitone thing there going on again. Or we could find some other lines, so we could sorry, not that there, we're not. So, and the biggest problem is with this tuning is when you're bridging over these, when you've got a string in between 2 fingers like this, because the strings are so loose, there's such a lot of movement to them. If you don't get your fingers stood right up, as you pick the string, it flirts back and moots on the inside of your finger. And if I actually just switch onto this camera, and if I actually swing it round onto this hand, and you can actually, just come in close, you can actually see what I mean. So you see that, just get that round there. So you see that string, when it bounces up, how it smacks off the inside of my finger there, and takes half of the life out of it. So don't completely boot it. So you've got to get your fingers right up. So that's in really close. Just go back to the camera. So that's another thing you have to watch when you're doing that. There's such a lot of movement when you pick the strings, and because when you're belting them with your thumb for the bass line, especially that string, you want that to cut through. So you tend to hit that a bit hard. So you've got to get those fingers stood right up on that. So now we've got us three chords there really. So. And a bit of a banjo lick going in there. That's the old classic. So it's ready to put all that together. So obviously the main thing with when you see banjo playing is the sheer speed of it. And again, when you watch that Deliverance film, and this, you know, the speed of the actual the picking, you know, which I can just about reach, but I can't keep that straight face. So the guy, I just start laughing. So and the guy just sits there and he's just deadpan. So I can't do that. So and again that finger there, so just. So there's a bit of an insight. You can see how I'm building that. It's not perfect yet. It will be soon though. I'll just keep working on it, keep working on that thing. I have to keep swapping. I don't like doing that because I like to keep my positional playing accurate. So there you are. So that's one way to try and get banjo out of a guitar. It's not ideal, is it? And it's one of them things. It's a style, and I keep working on that. Try and find some more chording versions and things. Listen to some banjo players, and try and work out some more of the lines and get them in there, and see how we build up. So when I've been doing this for a few weeks, if I've worked out a few more bits, I'll do another video and show you some of those as well. So for the time being, the only thing I can say is I've probably got the wrong hat on. I should have had a cowboy hat on for this, but never mind. And I'll see you in a future video. So take care, stay safe, remember, the old COVID, stay safe, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.